What's good, kings and queens? It's your boy Byron, CEO of Surfrise Enterprise, and today we are back with another video. I want to talk about the black consumer. I want to talk about the war on the black man. I want to talk about foreigners, and I want to talk about using hip-hop to change the dynamic of the culture, right? So, first things first, let's not waste no more time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the family if you haven't. I'm going to be dropping more bangers, more valuable bangers, you know what I'm saying, whether it's regarding how to get money or just valuable content, valuable information that's going to be able to serve you in the future, in the present. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. So let's get it. First, I want to talk about the black economics of the black consumer, right? So when I'm talking about black economics, it basically means just how the psychology and how black people spend their money and view money. You know what I'm saying? And the transactions of how money is being spent in the community, right? So we have to be able to look at a few different areas. One is food, right? The second is clothes. The third is land and schools, right? So I want to speak on food. So I'm big on growing food. I'm big on gardening. Everybody who's been watching my videos can kind of tell where my passions are, right? And it's in God's earth. You feel me? And so I believe that we should be able to grow our own food. I believe that we should be able to produce our own. I believe that once we're able to produce our own, and if we don't have time to produce our own, I believe that we should be able to buy from our neighbors in the community. That way the community that we live in continues to grow. I believe that the clothes that we buy should cease to exist as far as designers. I mean, a lot of clothes we don't even know how to pronounce. A lot of clothes don't even look good, man. It looks like garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't understand a lot of fashion nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Things have changed for sure, and things are continuing to change when it comes to fashion, but it's just a lot of different ways of looking at the culture, you know what I'm saying, and the culture shifting. And you can get with it or get lost. And I'm getting with it, I get it, but we don't have to blow a bag on shoes and socks and weird looking clothes and purses and, $200,000 purses. And if we don't got it, we feel like we ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I believe that our schools should be built by black people for black people. You know what I'm saying? So I say that being able to teach our kids about the culture, not American history, but world history as well. Not just to be a good employee, but to be a skilled boss, and know how to really run a business, know how to do taxes, know how to manage life, because it gets real, it gets hard, man. And a lot of times people resort to the worst because they don't have the essentials figured out. They don't have skill sets figured out, and we'll speak on that later on. I say that once we get the little things down, like food, land, schools, and clothes, we can then start small, right? And when we start small, we can start expanding. When we expand, you know what I'm saying, that's when we're able to franchise. That's when we're able to build. That's when we're able to do what Sam Walton did. CEOs that were able to start in their hometown, and they were able to span off on a national, if not global scale, but they started small. They were able to understand the fact that they had to do for self. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people never even went to college that are billionaires that passed on generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? They understood the concept of being able to start small and expand. And the list goes on. I can sit here and name different people all day. Like I say in my last video, once you have yourself, you're able to go ahead and, exercise that into the real world, into the physical. I believe that once we're able to look at it from that standpoint of just starting where we are, starting to understand where we spend our money, and because you don't never see no Chinese person in no black restaurant, people will start to respect black people a little bit more. Why? Because when you own shit, you control shit, and when you can control shit, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gotta answer to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I wanted to speak on that as far as the black consumer being able to know the difference between you know, what's right and what's wrong in my eyes, I feel like we got to do for ourselves. And God willing, once I get it to a point, I'll be able to talk about it. I'll be able to be about it and not talk about it. Maybe others can feel how I feel, and maybe we can come together and do something about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the war on black men, and I want to talk about how we have been, you know, since the beginning of the construction of North America, the black man, the black woman has been used like cattle for labor. There's no way around it. There's no way to forget it. A lot of people want to push it and leave it in history, but we didn't start off with, you know, the first class citizenship rights like Jews, Chinese, Irish, and Europe. You know what I'm saying? We started off as laborers who, you know, was stolen from another country and brought here to work on the land, to build up America. So it's funny how we're second class citizens when we was the ones that built this bitch up. You feel me? And I want to talk about how there's more black men in prison than there is than college, right? And it goes back to what people look up to, what people are taught, what's programmed into their minds. And so I want to speak on certain things, like, for instance, you know, Crips, like the Crip gang. Crips means community, revolution, and progress, right? Right, community, it starts with community. I spoke about that in the Black Consumer just now. If you can go ahead and tap into the community, right, you can go ahead and revolutionize, you know what I'm saying, thousands of people, you know what I'm saying, because it's a contagious effect, right? If you know what I'm saying, you do, that's why they say you got to start with yourself. If you do something nice for somebody, they're going to pass it on. It's going to triple, going to compound. You feel me? So I feel like community revolution and progress was built to protect the neighborhood from crooked police officers that would come in and try to do wrong to the citizens, you know what I'm saying, and the people that live in that neighborhood, right? But nowadays, you know, we can sit back and know that there's dope being sold in the black community and nobody's gonna do nothing about it. We either play football, you know what I'm saying, graduate high school, work, sell dope, rob, we end up in prison or we end up dead, right? It's only a few of us. It's only a few, man. It's a selective few that really goes off and start a business that's successful with it, you know. And that's what I want to see. I want to see more young black males prosper and be able to, you know, not depend on the white man for a job. You know what I'm saying? To spend money in their own community, being able to start small like Sam Walton did and grow a franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. You know what I'm saying? But imagine if it was just as big as a Denny's or a Bob Evans. I want to say that we have more options as kings, as black men. You know, we don't have to just go work for somebody. We don't have to know how to. We don't all have to sell dope to get on and have money without working a job. You really just gotta own you some equipment. You gotta get off your ass and go get you a bag. And when I say go get off your ass and get a bag, man, you gotta be able to get out there and sell something, either a service or a product. You gotta get out there and just stop, get out of the mentality of I'm gonna rob or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because if you do it one time you get away, it's cool. You do it another time you get away, it's cool. Eventually you gonna get caught, and that one time you got caught, you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna go in your favor. That's just life. Yeah, man. And so I want to move on to the next session, right? I want to talk about foreigners. I want to talk about foreigners coming into the community, right? And being able to dominate economically from laundromats, corner stores, gas stations, clothing centers, schools. It's like taking off for a race, right? Taking off for a race, you know what I'm saying? You shoot the gun in the air and they take off. You wait there for 200 years before you could really start to run. So at this point, we have to sprint to even try to keep up with these first class citizens, because they have all the land, they have all the real estate, they have all the knowledge kept to themselves in these institutions that they that they try to pick and choose who they want in these institutions, right? So I say that niggas, Indians, Mexicans have been treated like shit for as long as America's been built, for as long as America has been running. A lot of people just have a vision of how black people are, so we have to be able to change the dynamic. So I say that Latasha Harlin was shot at 15 in LA from a foreigner that didn't like niggas. This contributed to 1992 LA riots. Tupac immortalized her in his music. So this was a young girl who was shot from a Chinese woman in LA that had set up a shop in the projects, right? And so I want to be able to just talk on how we got to be able to own our neighborhoods. We got to be able to do for self. We got to be able to know the difference between right, wrong, and right. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be able to see that once we're able to push our own businesses, start small and expand. Once we're able to do for ourselves, not beg the white man for a job, but to spend the money in our own community, to build our own, to learn a skill set, and to build our own people up, to be a revolution in progress within the community, is what it's really about. Not banging on our own people, and trying to wipe out our own people. That's not cool. I want to move on to using hip hop to infiltrate the culture, right? So I say that if Kodak Black, Young Durk, Young Boy, and Pooh Shiesty was to come together and talk about the progression of economics. What if Kodak Black was to go to Haiti and rebuild Haiti, buy up all the real estate in Haiti and rebuild real estate in Haiti to where it was on a national scale. Everybody in the U.S. saw him go there and build up Haiti. He was to start some type of charity to where the money went directly into building up the people, right? What if Durk was to build something to where he was to go to Chicago and really bring the gang shit together and stop the violence, since he's the voice? What if Young Boy was to talk about investments in his music instead of how much he'll set this bitch off if you piss him off and he'll take your life away? What about Pooh Shiesty? What if he was to talk about real estate and made real estate cool with it? What all these young boys walking around with ski mask and snow mask or whatever the fuck you call them, right? I want to be able to say that we can use hip hop to infiltrate the culture, and we can change the way that we look at money. We can change the way we look at each other, right? So that's how I feel, man. That's what I got. My camera about to die. That's what I got for Black Economics. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.